What is the cause of your psychological suffering, the mind's greatest trick? Have you ever found yourself suffering, perhaps in a relationship, unable to experience love as you wish, in its joyful, happy reality? Instead, you go through deep pain and sadness. You might feel sad because your partner doesn't pay enough attention to you, doesn't love you, or you see each other too rarely. You think that you are not important or valuable enough for your partner. What is happening in such situations? You might think that what you feel is heartache, that your soul is breaking because you love your partner deeply, and this love cannot unfold, reach its destination, or come true. You convince yourself that your heart is suffering, that your soul is causing the pain. This is a trick of the egoic mind. It shifts the problem onto your heart and soul. However, in reality, neither the heart nor the soul can suffer. Your heart and soul only know how to love. They love life and support your happiness, manifesting in the present moment. You experience this when you live in the joy of the moment, when you feel good in your own skin, when you flow. You love your partner even during your deepest psychological pain and suffering. But in these moments, it's not your heart that is in pain. You are not suffering because of your soul. What truly causes your suffering is the egoic mind. It is your mind's thoughts that drag you down, making you hit rock bottom. Your mind creates and convinces you of thoughts in which you do not appear as you would like. For example, your mind might say, "My partner doesn't love me as much as before. He or she probably doesn't even think of me. Maybe I'm not important enough to them. I am not appreciated. They don't even want to see me. Maybe they are even cheating on me." If you pay attention, you realize that these thoughts are statements. Your mind is not asking questions. Your mind isn't searching for reality, but rather making declarations. These statements are about you and your partner, as if you were speaking on behalf of your partner. Because when you say, "My partner doesn't love me, I'm no longer important to them. They don't want to spend time with me," you are essentially putting your deepest fears into their mouth. The problem begins when you identify yourself with these thoughts, when you believe the thoughts running through your mind. You believe your own mind when it tells you that you're right when you state, on behalf of your partner, that you aren't important to them anymore and that they don't love you anymore. In doing so, you limit yourself and your possibilities. The more you believe such statements, which are negative and limiting about yourself, the sadder you become, the more you suffer, and the more pain you experience. Your mind is doing this to you. Your thinking is doing this to you, especially when you are not in control of your mind, but your mind controls you. First, you need to understand how your mind works, and once you understand it, you need to learn how to manage and direct your mind's focus and thought processes. Why does your mind make such statements that literally work against you? In reality, your mind doesn't intend to harm you. Its goal isn't to bring you down, but rather to give you as much peace, security, and progress in your life as possible. The mind's job is to help you make decisions about yourself and for yourself that support your well-being, safe survival, and development. However, while aiming to achieve this goal, it can only work with limited tools. Your mind can only make decisions and think based on what has been programmed into it since birth. It observes reality through the thinking patterns, beliefs, belief systems, values, dogmas, and filters learned throughout your upbringing. It uses these to make statements, analyze, interpret life situations, and formulate decisions in your head. If your mind, in a particular situation, runs thoughts like, "I'm no longer important to my partner, I am not needed enough, he or she probably doesn't love me, doesn't appreciate me, doesn't want to be with me, or may already be with someone else," notice that your mind has magnified your fears. Your mind focuses on watching the outside world, your partner and your relationship, for potential threats to your well-being. While focusing on threats, your mind sees the biggest danger as not being important enough to your partner. This means you have a schema about yourself running in your mind, causing you to think and believe that you are not important enough. This schema, this thought pattern, and this statement in your head were probably formed during your childhood. It could have many origins. Perhaps your parents couldn't pay enough attention to you at some point. leading you to draw this conclusion about yourself. Or maybe in kindergarten, you suffered when the teachers paid more attention to louder children, and you missed out on attention or recognition. It could also be that you experienced a severe illness. You got to hospital and felt a terrifying sense of neglect, not receiving enough attention or love. Thus, the thought was ingrained in your mind that you might not be important or valuable enough. It could even stem from the time when a younger sibling was born. Before, you had your parents' full attention, but when your sibling was born, their attention became divided, and you had to do without their undivided devotion. Perhaps this is when you first experienced the feeling of, maybe I'm not important enough anymore, not needed enough, not valuable enough. You carried this thought pattern about yourself into adulthood. This has become your biggest fear. In your relationship, you nurture this biggest fear, and your mind watches vigilantly, seeking confirmation of it. What will happen as your mind keeps looking for proof of your biggest fear, that you are indeed not needed by your partner? You will continuously lack something in the relationship and will keep suffering. What could be the solution here? Clearly, the solution is not to go back to your childhood and somehow rewrite what happened. You can't go back in time, and you can't change your parents' behavior either. You can't rewrite your past. Your task is not to unravel various childhood experiences, but to understand in the present that your mind is focusing on your fear. While concentrating on it, it makes statements that seem true about reality, and you believe those statements. Your task is simply not to believe your mind. Learn to question the statements of your mind with questions. Ask yourself, ask your mind, am I really right when I think that my partner doesn't love me? Could it really be my partner's reality too that I am no longer important? Or could there be another reason why he or she can't give me enough time and attention? What else might be possible and real? Learn to loosen the grip of your mind's statements with questions and never believe your mind, especially when you are feeling sad. Life is not inherently sad, and it doesn't only contain such fundamental truths that can limit your freedom of movement. Always seek the opportunities that life offers, especially during your tough moments when you are suffering. Guide your mind towards perspectives with questions that expand your possibilities, allowing you to view the situation from a different angle, a different perspective. Don't believe your mind, question it, and teach it to start thinking in terms of possibilities and multiple perspectives. You'll see that as soon as you start engaging with your mind, as soon as you break free from the statements you believe to be true, the tension within you will begin to dissolve. You will start to feel lighter, easier, and simply happier. People with a broad perspective, who can see more possibilities in their lives, find their path more easily, and find solutions to their challenges more effortlessly. They suffer less and find happiness more easily. So, never believe your mind when it tries to make you sad. If you liked this video, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to our channel, as here you will find many videos that help you understand the inner functioning of your mind, ego, and subconscious. In addition, you will receive constant advice and guidance on how to be happy and how to find your peaceful, happy, balanced, and harmonious self. We look forward to having you on our channel. And now, let me say goodbye, wishing you much success, good health, abundance, love, romance, a happy relationship, and everything else you wish for yourself.